Right, we'll carry on more or less where we left off at the last video. I'm going to right click here, hold it down and go over to the speaker here. Let go, and then with the left click I'm going to press on that note there. See, you can play individual notes, or perhaps this one up here, or one down here. Now, if I close this window and look at the overall part there, and right click again, go to the speaker, hold it over there, and then left click, and then drag it along, I can play that individual part. And if there are 100 other parts, then I will simply be able to preview, or view if that's the right word, listen to that track on its own. Now go back to this here. That there, if I click on that part, it'll zoom in. And this has more or less the same function as these things here. Do you see the plus and the minus? Let's click on the minus a couple of times. That makes it smaller horizontally. This makes it bigger horizontally. There we are. Whereas here, up here, if I click on the minus there, it makes it smaller vertically, and if I click on the plus there, it makes it larger vertically, which can be very useful, as I will show you in a minute. Right click again. We're just quickly going to find out what this is for. Now I'll let go on that one. It says clicking on a part with the mute X tool prevents that part from playing, and another click unmutes it again. This is very useful for muting the odd parts when you don't want to mute the whole track. So for example, if there's a part there, and a part there, and a part there, all on the one track, you can mute the one part without muting the whole track. So I'm going to click on that. See, it's muted now, it's changed colour or something like that. I'm going to click again, there we are, it unmutes it. I think that's all those explained now. Let's double click on here again and have one more look at this. Any more on there which you need to know about? I don't think so. I'm not quite sure what that there means. Let's just see if it has the same effect. I'm going to click on that note. I'm going to click on it again. Now I'll have to find out what that means. Doesn't matter. Let's go back to this. Let's close this window. And I'm going to cut this track, or this part in the middle. And you will notice that when I move it, it jumps. For example, I can let it stop at that point, but I can't let it stop between that point and this point. And that is because of something up here called snap. If I left click on there, you will see it says off, but it will also, it also then says bar, half, quarter, eighth, 16th. If I put it on bar, look up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you can't see that very easily. Let's move the right locator. Now you can see the 5 there, just about anyway. Those are bars. If I try and move this around now, it'll jump from one bar to another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So actually, if I tried to put those two back together, I can't, because it's on the snap setting for 1 bar. So I'll go back up to here, and I'll go to half bar again. Go back to the part, move it along, and then it snaps nicely into place. Of course, if I have it on 1/16th, then I can move it around much more freely. So that's more or less that. Let's have a very quick look at the transport bar again. Do you remember I said you could set the right and left locators by simply clicking with the left mouse button or the right mouse button? Well, down here you can set exactly where you want them. So for example, if you want that simply in bar 1, type 1, enter, and then the left locator will be exactly on bar 1. Double click there. If I do, to work out how this works, 1.5, let's see what happens, enter. It's moved to there. I get it. It's the beat. That now is bar 1, beat 4. Okay? And if I have bar 1, beat 3, or bar 1, beat 2, enter, then it'll jump to whatever beat of that bar. And this here, well, maybe that's, I don't know, let's put 5 in, and it's adjusted it slightly again, and the right locator is there. That's just the same. So that's another function of the transport bar, the left locator and the right locator. Let's stop there.